Right now at 6 o'clock, here's a live look at the North Carolina coast, Carolina Beach there. Just a few people out there. We've seen bands of rain throughout the day, and it will really pick up over the next couple of days. Thank you for joining us. I'm Gerald Owens.
And I'm Deborah Morgan. Now let's take a live look from Charleston, South Carolina. The downtown area is shut down right now because of all the flooding, but the storm is moving out of this area. We have crews in 2 states covering the storm. We begin with meteorologist Mike Mays in the WRAL Severe Weather Center. Mike, this storm is going out over the water and will likely strengthen now.
Yeah, it does have the potential, although I have to stress, I looked at all the intensity models and none have it becoming a hurricane. But we can't let down our guards because once it's over warmer water, you never know what can happen with hurricanes. So there's the storm right now. It is a weak tropical storm with top winds of 40 miles per hour, but crawling east-northeast at only 3. And if you recall back when Florence was moving through southeastern North Carolina, it moved at 2 miles per hour, and that's what allowed it to dump all that heavy rainfall. But we expect the forward motion to increase. So 2 a.m. Wednesday, it's off the coast of South Carolina. By 2 a.m. Thursday, top winds are forecast to be 60, making landfall perhaps south of Georgetown, moving due north. And the forward motion on the Hurricane Center's forecast is faster now. 2 a.m. Friday morning, top winds are at 35. That means 2 o'clock in the afternoon on Friday, the center should be here, and most of the rain is north and east of the center. So Friday could actually be a much improved day than what we've been talking about previously. So here's the radar view out of Charleston. There is the center of circulation just around Savannah. Half of the eye is over water, half of the eye is over land, but moving east-northeastward, it would take it over water, so it does have that opportunity to intensify once again. And for us, we've been seeing these rain bands moving on by, and on occasion, there have been tornado warnings down east. And for us, we're seeing the initial rain bands coming in today, only to increase during the day tomorrow. And I think the worst weather will be for the day on Thursday. Now, there is a tornado watch that was in effect until 6 o'clock. It's been expanded to 1 a.m. for some of our southeastern counties, with that potential for isolated, weak, brief tornadoes in that region. And on the live dual Doppler 5000, we've seen light rain cruising through the area here in Wake County and points south toward Fayetteville, and some heavier rain down east. This is likely to continue this evening and also overnight. Futurecast starting at 6 o'clock shows where that center of circulation is around Savannah. We see the rotating bands around that system. Tomorrow morning at 6, there may not be a whole lot of rain out there, but we expect that to pick up. And the heaviest should be in our southern counties during the afternoon and evening. And as the eye gets closer, or the center of circulation gets closer, those heavier rain bands will shift to the north. So that's why I'm thinking Thursday would be the day that we have the heaviest torrential rainfall, the greatest likelihood of flooding, the strongest winds. We could see winds gust up to 40 miles per hour. I'll talk more about that coming up in less than 15 minutes. Thursday morning at 6, the center is closing in on Florence, South Carolina. And by 2 a.m. Friday morning should be in this vicinity. And notice where the center is now, there's not a whole lot of rain with it. So once the center gets to Raleigh, most of the rain will be up to the north, so we should see improvement for the day on Friday. Now, WRAL Amy Wilmoth has been in Moncks Corner, South Carolina. Okay, my bad. We do see the chance for showers and thunderstorms decreasing for the day on Friday. Gerald?
All right, Mike, this is Brian Schrader in the WRAL Live Center. We just learned that Hope County Schools is going to be closing early tomorrow. They will dismiss at 12:30 p.m. As Mike mentioned, we're expecting the rain really to pick up in intensity tomorrow afternoon. Also, all new here at 6 in the WRAL Live Center, video from Edisto Beach, South Carolina, of some minor flooding and also some damage to some of the homes down there. They've been dealing with rain and wind there along the South Carolina coast all day today. Although, as far as we can tell, at Edisto Beach between Charleston and Savannah, no serious damage at this point. However, in the city of Charleston, they've seen street flooding today, and also in the Charleston area, some problems with tornado damage.
Let's show you that, Brian. The WRAL Storm Tracker was back on the road today, driving from Savannah, Georgia to Moncks Corner, South Carolina. That's where the storm destroyed this Arby's. Meteorologist Amy Wilmoth joins us live there now with a more look at the damage. Amy.
Right, and I have some new information, Deb. The National Weather Service now confirming that this was a tornado. They don't know the strength yet, but it was a tornado. In fact, there's surveillance footage of the tornado hitting this store, and we're efforting to get that video. But look at this. Photojournalist Jamie Munden zooming in onto an air conditioner that belonged to Arby's, but it's on the ground now. It was on the roof before the tornado hit early this morning. Around 2:30 this morning is when the tornado came through. So fortunately, it was overnight. This is a commercial area, and there are no injuries to report, which is the good news in all of this. Nobody was here at the time, but devastating loss here at Arby's. It's a complete loss. I'm pretty sure they're probably just going to have to tear down and start over. Luckily, the path didn't seem to be that wide, maybe half a mile or so, but tornado damage here in South Carolina and flooding. Live in South Carolina, I'm meteorologist Amy Wilmoth.
All right, Amy, thank you. Let's go a little farther north. We're seeing the impact of Debby in Myrtle Beach, which is under a state of emergency tonight. WRAL's Chelsea Donovan is there and joins us live. Chelsea, talk about the conditions you're seeing there at Myrtle Beach, and that's not affecting people who are sitting there on the beach.
Absolutely, Gerald. When we came to you about 75 minutes ago, it was sunny skies, and that brought out all of these vacationers that have come here, once a year, and this is their week to come here. So right now they're taking advantage of it. Right now we're not seeing hardly any winds, no rain. We spent the day driving down here from Raleigh, and we're seeing a lot of those rain bands, but right now we're getting a reprieve. And so you're seeing all of these folks coming out here and enjoying the weather before that rain comes in. I want to mention, you see some of those folks down there in the water. That's a no-no right now because the city of Myrtle Beach is flying what they call a double red flag, and that means no swimming in the water, and that's because the conditions here are worsening. A lot of rough surf. You can see those seas getting angrier, of course, by the minute. Of course, let's show you some video we took earlier today when we saw many folks out here. A lot of vacationers from Tennessee, Florida, Georgia, West Virginia, Pennsylvania. They're here for their once-a-year trip, and so they were making the most of it. We also went to a couple different places along Ocean Boulevard because that's kind of where people were going, to the arcades and things inside, because right now the boardwalk, which we are near, is pretty much shut down. Not a lot of activity, but as I just said, a lot of people doing what they can to make the most of their yearly vacation.
We were really hoping for the sun to be out and be able to hang out on the beach all day, but hasn't been working out so far.
All right, wind's starting to pick up just a little bit. We should mention we are under a state of emergency here in South Carolina. The city is operating on what they call OPCON 2, meaning they're under enhanced watch. They've got the resources available and they're ready to implement them should things deteriorate here, which we know there will be a deluge of rain over the next 48 hours. We're live in Myrtle Beach. Chelsea Donovan, WRAL News.
We are seeing the impact from Tropical Storm Debby here in our area. As it moves further inland toward the Triangle, crews are trying to reduce the high risk for flooding. WRAL's Destiny Patterson shows us why crews in Cary say they're trying to be proactive.
Now, I want you to take a look at this. You can see this is basically like a big vacuum cleaner. They're pulling up any extra water or debris, and all of this is in an effort to mitigate flood risk here in the area.
As we get ready for Tropical Storm Debby, towns like Cary have all hands on deck. Assistant Public Works Director Jimmy Simpson has a saying heading into weather events like this one: hang on.
We could be here for a day if the storm were to pick up speed, or we could be here for 2 weeks.
Crews trained for safe handling of their chainsaws.
Keep both hands on the handles.
While others cleared storm drains to reduce flooding. The storm is expected to dump even more rain on top of what we've already seen over the last few weeks.
Hopefully this storm is gone by Sunday, but until then, everyone just look out for each other.
Battalion Fire Chief Andy Hiscock says the town also has water rescue teams on standby and ways to monitor water levels.
Our stormwater department can check stream levels and gauges remotely from here and tell us before anyone has to even go out.
Hiscock and Simpson say their crews trained for this and they're ready to help when the storm hits the hardest.
So this big machine behind me is just a small part of a much larger effort to keep the area safe. The town officials tell me that they're also working with homeowners associations in order to work with neighborhoods to lower any bodies of water. Again, all in an effort to mitigate flood risk. Destiny Patterson, WRAL News, Wake County.
And WRAL has the largest team of meteorologists and reporters bringing you complete coverage throughout the storm. Stay with us on air and online for new reports and forecasts the rest of the week.